Hi, it's Hazel, and thanks for joining me today on my channel, Hazel Anaka Design. This is going to be another quick and easy video. I saw this idea done by Kathy at Kathy's Garden, and I will link her channel in the description box. It is deceptively simple, but yet really nice. Now, I didn't bother taking the time to, create decorated prototypes or anything, because most of us don't have any problem decorating anything. And in fact, we'll decorate anything that stands still for a moment or two. So the reason I thought this idea came at a perfect time, as far as I was concerned, is because any of us who are taking part in that Happy Mail movement are looking for ideas that are thin, lightweight, quick and easy. And yeah, I think this answers all those, ticks all those boxes. So what I did was I looked at a bunch of digitals that I had printed. They're from a variety of sources. I have gazillions of things printed, with good intentions. I figure if I buy them, I might as well print them. To know how kooky I am, in the beginning, when I bought digital kits, I printed 2 of everything, thinking, oh, one would be to use and one would be as a record of what was in that kit. Well, my goodness, there is more paper than anyone knows what to do with. There is a proliferation of digitals out there. And I'm contributing my own in some small way. And it doesn't make any sense to do that, people. So I'm sure I was probably the only one ever doing it. So I shouldn't have told you. Anyway, so I printed a bunch of these. You can see that this is a Shabby Dabby Doodah, which is very recognizable, maybe a freebie. This is another one of hers. Again, I don't know if it was a freebie or part of something that I bought. But you can see it's quite a bit smaller than, and again, that could be, operator error where I didn't, size it up before I printed it. But that's fine. It doesn't matter. This is actually one of mine from one of the wallpaper kits. This is another one of mine from the mark making. Don't know whose this is, but it's very neutral. And I picked a number of these for a variety of reasons. But let me tell you what we're doing. This is also one of mine from a mark making. Okay, so I did 3 here, or stages of 3. Oh dear. You know what? I refilled this art glitter glue bottle. It's a 4 ounce. Was nearly empty. So I thought, well, I have a big guy. Like I have the 16 ounce. Why don't I refill it, make my job a little easier? Well, I'll tell you, I don't know if, it hasn't been sitting there that long. I don't know if there was a consistency change or if the fact that it's just so full. But glue was just spewing out yesterday when I was using it. So I hope that doesn't happen today because we don't need a mess. Okay, so this was a digital. Well, these were all digitals, obviously. I've already said that. Now, there are a couple things going on here. This one, if you care about, this is, abstract, and it's a good, blue sand combo that you find in nature. But I created these marks on paper that is more than 100 years old out of a series of books that I have. But it also means that there is text on there that a person could, if they wanted to, read. So the orientation, correct orientation would be like that. Then I printed this, and I don't know, this, could this be an Artie Mays? Not sure. But you can see, it's very clear that the orientation is this way. So, and then I've got this one that I love. I'm not sure whose it is. This might be a Scrapbooking with Me. This one doesn't matter. The design is essentially around a border. So let me show you what it is that we're doing and why some of these maybe were better choices than others. This was the first one I cut up. So basically, well, I guess I'll demonstrate on this one and then I'll explain. Or no, let me pick a generic one here. Well, I'll pick, no, that's got printing, that's good. Okay, let's pick one with an all-over design like so. Not sure whose this is. So, the idea is you fold the paper in half. And oh, to save time, I trimmed my printer. My Epson does not print edge to edge. So I had the little white border around, but I printed that. I mean, I trimmed that off to save some time. Oh, I guess I could also be using my bold folder to crisp up the folds. So, can't get simpler than this. Fold the paper in quarters, and I find it easier usually to see the back than the printed side and front. So, again, this is pretty symmetrical. I'm just going to randomly cut out 1/4. And I'm trying to go as straight as I can against that fold line. I hope you're all well. This is December 10th, I think, as I'm filming this. I need it to get a few, and this you just set aside. I need to get a few videos in what I call my slush pile so that, you know, the pressure is off. So in essence, what we have created here, what Kathy has created, is a pocket with a cover. So, just again, that was my choice as to which one to cut out was random, but that meant that this becomes my cover. So I now have a pocket. Now, depending on how I want this oriented, if I wanted it to be horizontal, then I would go here and here. Oh, that doesn't work. I was going to say if I wanted it to be vertical, well, then my cover would be this way, which is sort of the opposite of how in the Western world we open things. Well, okay. Maybe this isn't quite as simple as I thought. What I'm going to do is try to remove an even little sliver. You can see it's not even. Yowzer. Just to make the folding easier so there is no binding. So I clearly have no choice but to do it like so. So just for the, whoops, it's down here for the sake of knowing what's what and where I need to put the glue, I'm going to put a divot in here. Oh, I had somebody, Denise, ask me, why do I offset my divots? And isn't that clever? And I said, well, mostly it's because I don't want to take the time to center it, and I hate being just a wee bit off. So by deliberately offsetting, oh, this thing is getting dull. By deliberately offsetting where I put my divot, it looks like a design choice as opposed to, oh, she couldn't center something if her life depended on it. You know, it was like when back in the day an insult used to be somebody couldn't throw a ball very well. Oh, he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Anyway, so that, of course, would be glued. Ink if you want, round corners if you want, and it would be ready to go. So let's just talk about the others. So with this one, I said, because print, it runs, you know, the way it runs and the way we read things, I just randomly picked a quarter to cut out, and this is what I was left with. Oh, clearly I trimmed it this way. So that means that, again, because of this orientation, I have to glue that way. The print is running up and down. But I suppose that really doesn't matter. You know, you can ignore it. You can also decorate over it. So maybe I should make a magazine page or something here. And just have another thickness when and you can see, whoops, not that way, this way, that I did trim that so that it would be, there would be no binding. Once I get myself all lined up here, you'll see what I'm talking about. So maybe I'll put the, whoops, get that thing in there, give it off to the side. And it cut better because it wanted something thicker than just that plain old paper. So now I've got two that are going that way. Let's see. Whoa, I didn't mean to slam that down. I wonder what it is that I am doing wrong. Oh, see, this one will be fine. I randomly cut this corner off. So I will trim here to make the folding better. This will be my cover. And I can glue it here and here, or I can, and leave this open, or I can glue it here and leave the top open. See, this needs a little tune-up. Oh, brother, I'm making it worse. I did, you know, want to pick areas that had more of the design on it as opposed to that. So, yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's be scientists about this. Why did that one work and this one not? So that was, okay, that was like that. Okay, so does that mean in order for this to work, a person needs to pick the upper left-hand corner? Now this was generic, I said, but that means it could be like that. Okay, mystery solved. Hold the paper however you want to hold it, and then cut out the upper left corner if you want the pocket to be vertical, like so, and open the correct way. So I'm going to take a little hair off this off. Again, I'm not going to take the time to do any inking, but you can see by removing that little sliver, it automatically closes better. Okay, let's cut this one at the top again. And of course, a person could also you know, scoop it out a lot more if you wanted easier access. Okay, so I will glue these when we're done. Now this one that I had pre-done, again, very much directional. So when I folded it, okay, yes, I wanted this quadrant to be my cover. That means that this is upside down. And I think no matter how I would have, no matter what I might have cut out of here, it was going to be the same. So that is a little cautionary tale there. I see this is pretty crooked too. So, you know, keep that in mind. If it doesn't matter to you, then, you know, great, onward. If it does matter, then you probably want to not use directional paper, or be prepared to address that issue when you're decorating, or ignore it. One or the other. Okay, so I've got now 4 of these done. And of course, these surplus papers to, what am I looking for here? To do whatever I wish with. You know, obviously they could be folded and tucked into that pocket just as an extra writing space, because they are digital, so only printed on one side. That might be a good thing to do. Okay, let's just do one more. This is kind of wild. I mean, any of these are going to be fine. This is directional, so I probably shouldn't. This one is, oh, it's directional too. Everything is pointing up. This is fine. This one is printed, maybe not the best choice. I think a neutral one would be good. However, these stripes might end up going a different way. And there is like a watermark type design on here. I believe this is up. Well, you'd think with the margin there, so I think I'll put that one aside. But any of these other, oh dear, maybe not this one. Yeah, something will end up upside down here. I'll put that aside. This has writing. That would be upside down as well. So out of all the ones I prepped, I just love this. I love this so much. William Morris. And then this is a very flashy one. Okay, let's do another one just for the heck of it. So again, I don't believe it matters which way you fold it first. I have some cute kitchen wallpapers in my Etsy shop. Digital wallpaper, you know, with fruits and vegetables and stuff. Okay, so this is how we're doing it. Now, those are actual staple marks from the wallpaper I scanned. What did I say? Upper left-hand corner? Let's do it. So you can see that now that we've broken the code on which part to remove, if you want a vertical pocket. If it doesn't matter, then let the chips fall where they may when you randomly cut out a corner. It's not that easy to see this mark, let me tell you. Especially with millions of people watching. Millions. Okay, that becomes my vertical or side pocket. So I'm happy with that. I'll do a divot later. Let's maybe do this one because I love it so much. And let's do this one just because this is so vibrant that who can imagine what this might look like? So, are you a baker? Do you have a freezer full of baking done for Christmas or the holiday that you're celebrating? I like maroon, but maybe that should be the sacrificed quadrant. Another thing that would have been good to figure out is, we'll figure that out on this one. If you take the upper left-hand corner, is it the lower left-hand corner that becomes the cover? Or is it something totally different? Oh, I think I went crooked. Yikes. Probably should have turned a few more lights on. That little wow there is okay because this becomes my cover. Is that what I wanted? Okay, so we fold it. No, we fold it. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is like a shell game. Keep your eye on this piece with the little yellow thing and the swirly thing and the yellow thing and the rose. And part of a poppy. Nope, it's binding, so it goes this way. So that becomes the cover. So the part that is adjacent to or below, look how poorly I cut that, jeez. This reminds me of when Bert and Ernie used to share cookies. How Bert, who was always a wee bit, just a hair smarter than Ernie, would always be chomping away to try to make the cookies even. So you can imagine, you can go through quite a few cookies until that happens. Okay, this will be the last one. Because clearly, now that we've broken the code, it is a no-brainer. Watch me screw it up. On this one, can't possibly ruin this paper. It is symmetrical, essentially, so it doesn't matter. I'll just randomly pick one because I think this might be nice horizontally. I feel like maybe I'd have better luck if I did. Darken that line. then there's no excuse. If you need an excuse for cutting crooked, then don't do that. Boy, I didn't. It was such a light touch. So is your house all decorated? Are your gifts all purchased and wrapped? Does that end up being there? Well, maybe let's pretend that this was the paper was like this and see what we end up with. Well, it can still be a... I wonder why. I do want it horizontal, so I'm going to just take a sliver off this one. Earlier today I taped another video of me opening the Happy Mail movement envelopes. So that was fun, and I hope that you guys, if you're still planning on doing it, I mean, there's no big hurry, there's no deadline, but yeah, it was really a fun event. I mean, a fun experience. And even if you're, don't have a channel and are at home opening it yourself, I guarantee that it'll make you feel good. So, okay, this is what we have. So you can see there's every aesthetic in the world going on here. Those are all my loose papers, I guess. So is that all we have? 5. Oh, this one isn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Anyway, guys, I hope that you decide to do this, especially if you have a whole bunch of digitals just sitting around. Of course, and you don't have to use digitals at all. You can use any paper that your little heart desires. But I think these are kind of cute. And they're pretty well half decorated for you as it is. Like, with something as busy as this, how much more would you really add to it? So anyway, I'm going to call it a day. I would appreciate if you haven't already done so. If you consider, just do it. Subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and write a comment. I love to hear from you, and it is, it's easy. There's no pressure whatsoever. Anyway, guys, we will see you in the next one. Bye.